Wisconsin. It is the state that may be one of the best examples of the turmoil following the Supreme Court's reversal of Roe versus Wade. Now, the minute the court issued its decision, abortions in Wisconsin came to a screeching halt. Why? All because the state had a law on the books from 1849. 1849, y'all. That's pre-Civil War. Do with that what you will. Okay, so women who needed help and the providers who were going to help give it to them, they suddenly found their rights taken back 150 years.
It's a felony, and it comes with potential jail time and potential significant fines. Our incredible staff had to go out and say to people who are in the waiting room that they could not have the procedures. I mean, it was traumatizing.
There are people in the state who are fighting back. Wisconsin's Democratic Attorney General is suing the Republican-controlled state legislature to get the ban overturned. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul joins me now. Mr. Attorney General, thank you so much for being here. You and Governor Tony Evers have vowed to protect doctors from prosecution. How did you decide not to defend this old law?
Well, the result of Roe versus Wade being overturned and access to safe and legal abortion being cut off in Wisconsin is that women in our state are now less safe, less free, and less equal than they were just about a week and a half ago. And that is an unacceptable state of affairs. And so the governor and I are committed to fighting back. Now, because there have been laws passed since that 19th century ban you mentioned, it's our argument that those laws are inconsistent with this new ban. And that the courts should find that the old 19th century law is not in effect in Wisconsin.
So you say, Mr. Attorney General, that you won't enforce the law and that you won't charge abortion providers, which is excellent because there are attorney generals and state lawmakers in other places across this country that are not doing what you are talking about doing. But the reality is that Planned Parenthood has stopped providing abortions in Wisconsin. So can you just explain to me how that works? Because how can reproductive rights be protected even if the law isn't being enforced, if abortions aren't being performed?
Well, right now we're in a bad spot. There's no question about that because of this 19th century ban. We're trying to do everything we can to minimize the harm from the Supreme Court's decision. And so by not using our Department of Justice's resources to investigate or prosecute anybody under that ban, we're trying to minimize the harm. You know, although Planned Parenthood isn't providing services, doctors are still going to be providing services to patients, and they'll have to make difficult emergency decisions about whether or not to perform an emergency abortion to save the life of a mother, which is an exception under that old ban. Knowing that the governor is willing to grant clemency and that our office isn't going to be investigating or prosecute anybody, I hope we'll make sure that doctors feel empowered to make the right decisions. But we've also got to restore access to safe and legal abortion, and that's what our lawsuit is about, and that's why we need legislative action.
So one more question, because I just want to make sure I have it very clear, Mr. Attorney General, on this point. So could a doctor performing an abortion still get arrested anyway? I understand that you are not going to prosecute them, but could they, in fact, be arrested?
My office won't be arresting anybody, but a DA or a police chief or a sheriff could. Now, we've had some DAs come out and they've been clear that they're not going to prosecute anybody either. But we've also had some DAs take the opposite position. And so right now, what the potential consequences are depend on where you live in the state. And unfortunately, there's been no case law interpreting these bans because it's from the 19th century and it hasn't been enforceable for about 50 years. And so applying that ban to 21st century medicine is something that just hasn't happened yet.
Okay, got it. So one of the people that you name as a defendant in your lawsuit is Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. And it is not a surprise that it did not sit well with him. Now, he responded saying this, quote, "Once again, we will do Attorney General Kaul's job and vigorously defend the law. It's sad that Governor Evers and Kaul want to break the law instead of work with the legislature. Abortion isn't health care." Okay, I don't agree, but this isn't about me, sir. Mr. Attorney General, what is your response to that?
Well, first, the suit is about the fact that we have two conflicting sets of laws. Our legislature has left different sets of laws out there, and we need clarity from the courts, and I hope that they will weigh in on the side of reproductive freedom. But also, you know, the governor and I are more than happy to work with our legislature. And in fact, our governor called a special session that took place just a few days before Roe was overturned. And the vast majority of Republican legislators didn't even come into session. They just gavelled in and gavelled out. and left us in this state of uncertainty with the law that we now face. So we'd love to see them come in and take this issue up, and I hope they will.
It looks like you are the one doing your job here, sir, and some of the Republican state legislatures in Wisconsin should follow your lead. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.